Jimmy owns a Pokemon card valued at $100. A year later, that card is worth $200 on the market. Jimmy hasn't sold it. It's still sitting in Jimmy's room. But the government shows up and says, "Hey Jimmy, your card went up $100 in value, so you owe us $30 in taxes." But Jimmy doesn't have $30 because Jimmy didn't actually sell the card. So Jimmy needs to pay taxes on a card he still owns. How does that work again? But wait, it gets worse. A year later, the Pokemon card market crashes, and Jimmy's card is only worth $50. Jimmy lost money, but the government says no refunds. The following year, that same card increased in value and is now worth $150. And guess what? Yep, you guessed right. Hey Jimmy, your card went up $100 in value, so you owe us $30 in taxes. Sounds absolutely insane, right? Well, grab some popcorn because Australia's about to show us exactly what it looks like when a country commits economic suicide. And honestly, it's going to be painful to watch. This is the story of how Australia is about to become the testing ground for the most dangerous tax experiment in modern history, and why every single Australian should be absolutely terrified. Before we dive into this financial nightmare that's about to hit every Australian family, smash that like button if you're tired of politicians treating you like a walking ATM, and subscribe if you want the truth they don't want you to hear. Picture this. You're Pauline, a 35-ish-year-old teacher from Brisbane. You've done everything right, worked hard, saved diligently, put money into your super every week like the government forced you to. Your super balance has grown to $400,000. Not because you're wealthy, but because you started early and compound interest did its magic. Then one day you wake up to find out the government wants to tax you on money you haven't made. Money that could disappear tomorrow if the market crashes. But they want their cut anyway. Doesn't sound right, does it? This is Division 296, the unrealized capital gains tax, and it's coming for all Australians. Here's what they're not telling you about this tax. Sure, they say it only affects people with over $3 million in super, but when has there never been a catch? That $3 million threshold isn't indexed to inflation. What does that mean exactly? If you're 25 years old today, earning an average wage, and you're forced to put 11% of your salary into super every year, by the time you retire, you'll have, wait for it, over $3 million. That's not wealth, that's basic retirement planning with 40 years of compound growth. But here's where it gets truly sinister. This isn't just about super. The legislation is written so loosely that it could be expanded to any asset. Your family home, your investment property, that classic car you've been restoring, anything. Remember Pauline, our teacher? Let's say her super grows to $3.2 million by the time she's 50. Under this tax, if her super fund gains money in a year, even if it's just on paper, she gets hit with an extra tax bill. Here's the problem. Her super fund doesn't have cash sitting around. It's all invested in shares and property. So the fund has to sell some investments just to pay a tax on money that was never actually received as cash. And if the market crashes the next year and her super drops back down, too bad. The fund already paid the tax. The government doesn't give refunds on imaginary profits. Wait, what? The government doesn't give refunds on imaginary profits. The global warning. This isn't theoretical. Norway tried this exact same tax. You know what happened? Half of their wealthiest citizens left the country. The tax raised almost nothing, but it destroyed their investment ecosystem. But Australia's version is worse, much worse. Because in Norway, it was optional wealth. In Australia, we're talking about mandatory super contributions. Money the government forces you to save, then taxes you on the growth, even if you can't access it. The hidden agenda. Here's what's really happening. This isn't about raising revenue, it's about control. It's about destroying the middle class's ability to build wealth independently. Think about it. If you can't build wealth through super, through property, through investments, where does that leave you? Completely dependent on the government pension, completely under their control. And if you want to see how the welfare system is rigged against you, check out the video in the description. But wait, I digress. And here's the most insidious part. They're using your own money against you. They force you to contribute to super, then they tax the growth, then they'll probably means test you out of the pension anyway because you have too much in super. Wait, too much in super? But this goes beyond individual Australians. This tax will destroy innovation in this country. You know how Canva became a multi-billion-dollar company? Angel investors, many using their super funds, took risks on a couple of young entrepreneurs with a crazy idea. Under this tax, those investors would have been taxed on Canva's paper value increases every year, forcing them to sell their shares just to pay the tax bill. No more angel investors. No more startup funding. No more Australian success stories. The real numbers. The government claims this will only affect 80,000 people, but their own Treasury documents show that within 20 years, it could affect 1.8 million Australians. That's not the wealthy elite. That's teachers, nurses, tradies, small business owners, regular people who worked hard and saved for their future. The tax is designed to get worse over time. As inflation pushes more people over the threshold, and as super balances grow through compound interest, more and more ordinary Australians will get caught in this web. The international perspective. While Australia is about to shoot itself in the foot, look what's happening elsewhere. Trump is slashing corporate taxes, cutting red tape, making America attractive for investment. Singapore is rolling out the red carpet for entrepreneurs. Even the UK is trying to attract wealth creators. And Australia? We're about to become the first developed nation to tax money people haven't even made yet. We're literally going to drive investment and innovation out of the country. Let's get personal for a moment. If you're watching this video, you're probably not a millionaire. You're probably someone who works hard, pays their taxes, and just wants a decent retirement. This tax is designed to make sure you never get there. It's designed to keep you dependent, to keep you from building the kind of wealth that gives you options, that gives you freedom. Because here's what wealth really is. It's not about buying fancy cars or expensive watches. Wealth is freedom. Freedom to choose your job, freedom to take risks, freedom to say no to things you don't want to do, and they want to take that away from you. So what can you do? First, understand that this isn't just about people with $3 million in super. This is about the future of wealth creation in Australia. This is about whether ordinary Australians will ever be able to build financial independence. Second, make noise. Contact your local MP. Share this video. Talk to your friends and family. Because the only way this gets stopped is if enough Australians understand what's really at stake. Third, start thinking about your own financial future differently. If the government is going to make it harder to build wealth in traditional ways, you need to get creative. You need to understand the rules of the game they're forcing you to play. The bigger picture. This isn't just about tax policy. This is about the kind of country Australia becomes. Do we become a nation of entrepreneurs and wealth creators, or do we become a nation of government dependence? Do we reward hard work and smart financial decisions, or do we punish them? Do we encourage people to take risks and build businesses, or do we make it so expensive and complicated that only the ultra-wealthy can afford to play the game? The unrealized capital gains tax isn't just bad policy, it's a declaration of war on the Australian dream. It's telling every young Australian that no matter how hard you work, no matter how smart your decisions, the government will always find a way to take more. But here's the thing, they can only do this if we let them, if we stay silent, if we assume someone else will fight this battle. If this video opened your eyes to what's really happening, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Share this with everyone you know, because the only way we stop this is together. And remember, in a world where the government wants to control your financial future, the most rebellious thing you can do is become financially educated. Stay angry, stay informed, and never stop fighting for your right to build wealth.